The Speedster. That's Paul's handwriting. Paul doesn't allow anyone to touch any line of the car, even the signature line. Here's what Speedster concept is all about. There is no top. It is a half-height windshield and side glass wrapping around into a headrest for passenger and driver. So what you see is the end of 1 week's worth of work. Paul Deutschmann, the guy who styled the sledgehammer and the aero body, would start with a block of foam and say, okay, let's see how we look in real life.
Great. You can see how he sculpted it with a little knife.
The concept of the Speedster is largely an American concept. It seems that they were most prevalent between 1900 and 1929. It was seemingly a lightweight, open-air, stripped-down version for performance only. Paul Deutschmann is the stylist behind the Speedster, and if you look at the work in detail, you will see that there are a lot of subtleties going on there that broadcast a very well integrated piece of work. I think this is where Deutschmann really shines. He's one of the great designers.
Well, I think I like the color lights puff out on the back. Right there. See how they sort of puff out and then go back and puff out. And I like that car too. But then my dad's building it, and it's cool. I like the lights when they come out, like the color.
For sunny climates, we can get away with a topless, open-air version of the car. And one of the things that I've always enjoyed is cars that have a half-height windshield that make no pretense of having a top, and probably include some semblance of a headrest behind the driver and the passenger. So what Paul has done is integrated all of those elements so that there's now a cockpit combing aspect, like in a sailboat. Of course, all show cars are always worked on right up to the last minute. And I remember approaching Christmas of 1990, having to ask for an extraordinary amount of output from everybody to finish this car and get it shipped to Los Angeles in time for the show. And that essentially asked everyone to work during Christmas. But it was a great effort, and I thought well worth it. I mean, it was the first real international debut of an automobile that largely looked like our own automobile that we had ever had. And if you remember, the display was built up on its side. There was the green Speedster, the yellow pearlescent coupe, and it was the star of the show. Don't forget, we hadn't decided to put that car into production yet. So we were trying to gauge the reaction of the press, which is normally enthusiastic when they see something that they like, versus the real gauge that we needed as a confidence builder was to say, should we go ahead and put this into production? And don't forget, we were only trying to decide whether to make 50 cars or not. But for us, 50 cars was a big deal. So, based on what we saw, we said, let's go for it. There's nothing else like this out there.